Of all the planets in our universe, there is only one that we know can support life. It's called Earth.
Earth, starring James Earl Jones and a bunch of starving animals.
Earth. Yeah, this is Disney getting back to the good old days with family-friendly documentaries on animals. Except now in the days of global warming, these are all animals who are dying on screen.
Well, yeah, but see, it makes sense, really, because back then, Disney was killing hundreds of animals to make their documentaries with happy endings.
Yeah.
Now they're making sad documentaries where they're not allowed to kill the animals.
And they suffer naturally.
They have to just let them die on their own. It's like, can't we throw that elephant a steak or something? No, he's got to die on his own.
Yeah, no, this movie really. Disney is really pitching this as, oh, look at these lovable animals, 3 families of animals trying to make it across this beautiful globe we call Earth. It's 3 families of animals trying to make it to some fucking food or water before they die, and in the meantime, they're trying to avoid all these predators too. That's not my biggest problem with the movie. My biggest problem with the movie is that this is something that we saw on PBS called Earth. And Planet Earth. And I think they took some stuff from that for this. And that was something that we saw for free, which was much better.
They shot tons more footage than they put into the Planet Earth series.
Sure.
Planet Earth series is a gargantuan thing. You can get it on every format known to man. They put it out on HD, it's on Blu-ray, it's on DVD, it's probably on VHS somewhere.
It gets shown on the National Geographic Channel every Sunday.
It's incredible stuff. I've got friends that they pop it in every time they have a party so that people just sit on their couch just blasted staring at it because it's gorgeous. And from what I heard, Disney bought the rights to this footage and took a bunch of the footage that they got of these 3 different animal families and decided to edit around and create something we hadn't seen.
Well, it's not bad. Like I said, it actually made me very nostalgic for when Disney released those nature movies, those nature documentaries back in the 50s.
Well, see, it's so funny to hear you say that because I remember a kid. Well, they released them in the 50s. Clearly, I didn't see them in the 50s. Must have been rebroadcast on.
Yeah,
shut up.
He'd already graduated.
Shut up. And then you had something to say. I can see your lips watering the minute I said that. But when they used to come on the Wonderful World of Disney on Sunday nights, every so often they'd show some of those. I remember watching them. They were lighthearted. And I don't remember if they were narrated or not. But, you were watching animal hijinks. So that's some nerve to say, like, no, this is going back to that time.
Like Charlie the Cougar?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Charlie the Cougar.
This kind of
reminded me of that, except without the fireman.
I would say that, but there was and this is sad for me to say, but some of the funniest moments from these Disney nature movies from back in the 50s, 2 of them were from animals dying. It's because it's the way they narrated it. They had one scene. Yeah. Well, no, they had that guy who was like a really dry narrator. He's like, this monkey's monkeying around with the bad thing here, and he's playing with this python. And this python's kind of looking like, man, go on now, all right? And it gets to a point where all these other monkeys are looking at him, and they're like, come on, man, come on, don't do that. That's wrong. You're going to get hurt. Come on. And he keeps doing it until finally the snake.
Signifying monkey.
Well, that snake just finally just says, fuck it. And he wraps himself all around that monkey. You can see that monkey like, and then the narrator's like, well, that's what he gets for monkeying around.
They should have got Rudy Ray Moore. He would have been perfect with that. And that was the end of his signifying career.
It's a natural selection.
But they had another one about lemmings. And they just they just filmed these. One. You remember that one? I think
they got in trouble because that's not true. Lemmings don't jump off cliffs like that. Disney made that shit up and threw those fucking lemmings off that cliff.
Yeah, so are you serious? Because
they stampeded them off the cliff.
Yeah.
No, man.
Disney made that shit up.
Sting has written songs using that.
Well, they
made an incredible video game out of lemmings.
Well, they show those lemmings going down in slow motion. You can see those lemmings every turn. It's like, yeah, and they're making a joke about it, but. Little did I know, like Walt Disney himself had lemons in his hand and was throwing them over the cliff.
Mickey Mouse is running behind him in slow motion.
Enjoy lemming heaven, motherfuckers! No, but no, this movie. I mean, I don't mind them. I don't mind documentaries where they show the harsh realities of nature. It's just that they don't go through with it. To me, it's either do one thing or the other because they had this one scene where. They showed this wolf chasing this little baby. What was it, like a antelope or something?
Yeah.
And they make it sound like this baby antelope's gonna get away as long as he can keep his footing and keep his speed. He has the upper advantage. And that wolf got up on his ass. And he's like, oh hell no! And he bit the wolf. He bit that little antelope on his tail. And you thinking like, oh shit, it's over. And that antelope says, and they cut.
Yeah, no money shot. It's like, look, if you're gonna take me this far, you got to give me the money shot.
However, sometimes I wonder if that's not more horrifying because it really did disturb me when you saw a little antelope go like, no, and then they just cut. And I was like, I picture something way more horrifying after that.
But as a movie, this is just kind of, will you watch it going, I would have watched this at home on Blu-ray. I would have sat and watched this on my television, but an hour and a half in the movie theater, really, of a nature film these days? I just, even though it's designed towards, set towards younger audiences, it's still just not all that interesting. And there's so much of this sort of stuff already out there. I'm really not entirely clear what Disney is thinking they're going to achieve with this.
Well, I think they're gunning for March of the Penguins. I mean, when March of the Penguins came out, I knew kids who took their parents to see that movie every weekend while it was in theaters. And they're hoping for a repeat of that, where they capture these kids' imagination with these stories and have them go week after week after week to see it. But from what I'm hearing, it's not nearly as captivating as March of the Penguins was.
No, as a matter of fact, they kind of cheated some. Like, okay, yeah, the elephants are on their death march trying to find water. And then you got the polar bears who are trying to get a little bit of food, and they're starving to death. But then you got these two whales, a mother and a calf, and they're trying to swim to get to, the good water where the food is. And they're like, yes, but at any moment they could be taken down by their biggest predator, the great white shark. And they showed a footage of a shark eating a seal, but that shark is actually nowhere near these whales. And never are they in the same waters. But they're trying to use like reality TV editing tricks to make you think put these whales in danger when they're actually not.
Yeah, they keep coming back to that fucking shark footage too, which was kind of pissing me off. Well, I'm just like, are we really going to throw our ecological balance that badly out of sway if we kill all those fucking things?
No, and it's like a 5-hour scene of him swinging that shark swinging that seal up in the air. I mean, it's like you're sitting there thinking, okay, I get it. This seal is dead.
Yeah, right? You're going to actually see the seal mouthing the words, "Oh fuck!"
But there are some scenes that are in this movie that I thought were cool. They have some very slow motion scenes of like animals chasing down their prey, and those
are always cool.
Yeah, and it's pretty graceful. I mean, and you know that these animals are going to die in a horrifying way when they catch them, and it's just like you're still into it. I just wish they had showed it, like got to a point where like they showed like, what was it, a leopard or something? Was it like was it a cheetah? It was like a cheetah chasing down some prey, and I was expecting it to actually get the animal that it was chasing, like pull out a butcher knife in slow motion and just come down on it. And
it's funny you said it, because it did seem that way, because it first grabs it with one paw, and I expect him to pick it up and look him in the face and go, now what? Yeah, have a machete in the other hand.
I'm the goddamn Batman.
I'm watching that in slow motion, and he's kind of climbing up his body in slow motion, and I